So, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I will be doing my project pan update for the month of November. And I guess I have a few updates to share if you're new to this channel, or I guess if you're new to this channel this wouldn't really matter, but for the month of October I think I was completely gone. I didn't post anything. I meant to, but then I got lazy and I was just too tired to, so I didn't. October was a very busy month for me. I took the civil engineering PE exam, which is the professional engineering exam. I took the national exam, and if I pass that, I still have another 3 sets of tests to go that I want to take, or need to take in order to get my license, because California is very strict. And then we also moved, so the test and our move were both in like the same week, so it was very chaotic, and we have completely moved all our stuff from the old place into the new place. We've turned in our old keys in, and I am now filming in a closet, so I do have my own kind of space. This closet is the walk-in closet for our master bedroom, and so the light is actually from the ceiling up there, so that's why I feel like the shadow's casting kind of funny on my face, and it makes my eyes look really droopy and dark, I guess. But yeah, I'll figure out the lighting eventually. I'm thinking of getting 2 lights to put on the wall over there. And I've completely forgotten how to film, so I did try to do a take earlier, and then I realized I forgot to take like the total number of uses I did, and I forgot to lay out my items. I forgot to pick the items before I started filming, and so there will be a learning curve for the next few videos again. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to have my time back. I spent I spent like the last 3 months of my life studying for a couple hours a day. Like, it would be 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours if I could really push myself every day, and at least I think every day except for Fridays, and so that was very exhausting. And on the weekends I would study a little bit harder, and I'm just so glad to have my time back. But at the same time it feels a little bit weird having all this free time. I feel like I am just, I feel a little bit on edge not preparing for something. I feel like, I should be preparing for the next set tests, or, to retake this test in case I failed, because it was very, very hard. And I have no idea if I passed or not, and I will not know for 6 weeks. So that's lovely. I just want to relax, but it's a little bit hard for me because I guess of my personality and just the way I work. But yeah, I'm going to get into my project pan now. So maybe I'll put a timestamp so you guys can skip this ramble. Like I said, I am still trying to remember how to film, so please bear with me. Starting with the first item, I have my Milk Kush lip balm in the shade Green Dragon. I used this 25 times this update for a total of 53 uses, and in the last update it was very close to being done. And I really thought I was going to be done this update, but look at this. It's just barely hanging on. Like, you can't even see it from, I guess you can kind of see it from this side, but it's barely hanging on. Just a few more uses. I thought about scraping this out, but I actually have so many of these that I don't feel like I need to scrape this out. And I just don't feel like I need to scrape this out. I did not pay full price for this. I got this in a pack of 3 for $17, so the retail price is $16 each, and this one was about a little under $6. I do like this, I just don't recommend buying it at full price. So this will definitely be done by the next update. I will use this for the next few days to make sure that it is done. It might even be done by the time this video is up. I like to use this lip balm after I get out of the shower, because I shower at night, and if there's like a substantial amount of time between when I shower and when I go to bed, I wear this. The next product I have is also Milk. This is the Milk Makeup highlighter stick in the shade Lit. I don't know if this is a sample size or like a size you can actually buy. It's very tiny, but this is how much I have left. There's not that much. This part is just a plastic cap. I also do not think I will be digging into this container if there's still product left in it, because this lasted me for forever. I've used this 16 times this update for a total of 26 uses, and this gives like the most natural glow. I really like it, but if you set it with a powder or if you put it on top of a powder, it doesn't look as good. So I feel like this would be better for someone with dry skin instead of someone like me who has very oily skin. But I do like the look. I wish they made this in a powder form. I know that Milk has highlighters, but from what I've heard, they are very in-your-face kind of highlighters, which is not what I'm into these days. I used to be without realizing it, and now I just prefer, you know, more subtle highlighters like this and the Hourglass powder highlights. So yeah, I'm actually going to be rolling this out of this project. I don't want to be using cream products anymore. I am so sick of, like, every morning my fingers getting greasy when I apply it, because I would just do, you know, one swipe on my cheek and then blend it out, a little dot on my nose and then swirl it, and then other cheek. And then when you do that with like 3 different products, not that I put bronzer and blush on my nose, but, you know, just saying, when I do that with 3 different cheek products, it gets a little bit much. And I feel like my face could not breathe. Like, it felt very heavy, especially since I used lipstick as well as a cream blush. It just felt very greasy, and I was not the biggest fan of that feeling. So I'm going to let my skin rest, at least for next couple of months. Maybe I'll pull this back in next year in spring. I definitely want to finish it up. I think I can. I don't know how long it was in this project for. Oh, it wasn't in this project for that long. So I definitely think I can finish this in the early months next year, or within a few months next year. I don't know when I'm putting this back in the project, but I definitely will be panning this next year. It's a cream product, and I know it's almost a gimme. I shouldn't say that. It took me quite a while to get to this point, so we'll see. The next product I have is also a cream product. This is also a cream product. This is the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Stick in the shade Golden Pink. This was a 100-point perk from Sephora, and I didn't realize how much product is in here. I really like it when I get a lot for my points, I guess, from Sephora. Technically, it's, you know, free, but you still had to spend money to get those points. But this lasted a long time. So I used this 3 times this update. Did I mention that I combined September and October's tallies, and there's still not that much progress. I only used it 3 times the past 2 months, and this is how much I have left. Just like a little nub. Not that there was much in here to begin with. Like, when I roll all the way down, I can see the progress. Oh, I've used up more than half, I can say confidently. But it took me... I used this 43 times in this project, and if this is just barely half, I feel like it'll take me another couple of months. Hopefully I can get this done by the end of next year, because, like I said, it's a cream product. And the reason why I'm not going to confidently say, like, oh, it'll be done in 2 months, is because I don't like to wear the same things every single day. And at first I thought I could, but I like variety. And right now, with me not having a camera at work, I don't usually use this. I like to go for more colorful makeup looks, because I know in the future when we go back into the office, I can't do that anymore. The next product is a powder product. You can probably see it flashing on my neck and my face. This is, ooh, this smells so good. The Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. If you didn't know, this is actually my second palette of this. Like, I repurchased it because I missed it so much, and it smells delicious. Anyway, so I was working on the shade Chocolate Gold. My boyfriend actually picked this for me. I asked him to pick a palette or pick any makeup product, and he happened to reach for this, probably because it looks very, you know, shiny. It's dirty now. Very shiny, and he picked the gold shade, which is Chocolate Gold. And I set myself a goal of using it 15 times, and I have used it 2 times in this update for a total of 10 uses. So, oh, you can see right here. Ta-da, that's what it looks like. I don't know why I suddenly thought it was December, but anyway, yeah, you can see some dents in it. You can see some dents in the other shades. I don't know why this looks more used than my previous palette when I used that one way more than this one. It's probably because now I use a brush instead of my fingers. But yeah, this shade is going to last forever. These shades look stunning on their own, but I find when I use another product in this project pan, my NYX Glitter Primer, it really, really pops. So yeah, that's how I used it twice. I actually used it once without the primer and then once with the primer, and I was very surprised. But this is a nice shade. I really like this palette. I think it's the best formula Too Faced has ever come out with. I hope I can hit my 15 use goal. I think I would try to force myself to get it done at the beginning of this month, or I guess the beginning of November, so that I don't have to worry about it later in the month. Another very shiny product is my Hourglass, what is this? I always forget the name. Ambient Lighting Edit Sculpture Palette. This was last year's holiday palette. This year's holiday palette looks like raw bacon and cooked bacon to me. I wouldn't say it's hideous because I know my first thought was it looks like marble, but when people started saying it looked like bacon, I could not unsee it. So my goal on this palette was to, I think, just use it up completely. There's no way that's happening, especially because I did not wear makeup for the longest time. But I did wear this quite a few times. I love this palette. I used it on a daily basis. And so yeah, okay, let's start. This is Dim Light. I was like, that doesn't look like a highlighter to me. So I used Dim Light 28 times for a total of 61 uses. This is Glistening Strobe Light. I used it 28 times as well for a total of 61 uses. This looks like bacon to me now that I think about it. And then the blushes, this one is Vibrant Flush and this one is Mood Exposure. I used Vibrant Flush 23 times for a total of 51 uses, and then I used Mood Exposure 23 times as well for a total of 50 uses. I don't think I used it as many times in a past update. I'm not even going to wait to finish this to get the next one. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to like have a friend order it at a discount. So yeah, I don't know if you were able to see it because I held it kind of far because there's a mirror. But I feel like I'm very close on hitting pan, like side pan on the highlighter. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's getting kind of flat on both of them. You can see it mostly in the highlighter. And then this one, it's not as rounded as it used to be. My mirror is disgusting. No apologies. It's just the nature of, I guess, the packaging. But yeah, I'm excited to potentially see pan in the next update. The next product I have is a bronzer. This is NARS Laguna. It was the birthday present from Sephora this year. I ended up picking the NARS birthday present because, to be honest, none of the other ones really looked that appealing. My goal on this was to hit pan, and it was very difficult because I had a bronzer in my other project pan. I hit pan in that one, and then I started using this one, and then I moved. So I completely forgot, or not forgot, didn't get use out of this, but I used this 6 times this update for a total of 11 uses, and you can already see like a dent, at least I hope you can. Like right in this corner you can see it's not flush anymore. I don't know, I could probably use this up by the end of the year if I'm going to be completely honest, because it is there's so little product in here, and I hit pan and used one up very quickly in the past, or I've hit pan very quickly on one in the past and then used it up not that much longer after. I didn't realize how nice Laguna is. The first time I had Laguna, it was a little bit on the older side, so it wasn't as pigmented as this one. It doesn't look very dark. Actually, yeah, it doesn't look very dark, but it comes out kind of dark and it shows up on my skin, which you can see, like, I'm not that light, so I was very impressed. I might consider buying the full size of this in the future, but I'm not really a bronzer person, like I said in many of my videos. I don't always love how it looks. Like, I do wear it on a daily basis, but there's some days where I'm like, I look disgusting, and other days where I'm like, I look pretty good, you know? I think that's just how makeup is. The next product I have is my Persona Cosmetics eyeliner in the shade Brown. I think it's just called Brown. This is their 24-hour eyeliner. I cannot stop recommending this. I have it on today, but you can't tell because I have on black eyeshadow. My goal on this was just to get use out of it. I didn't think I was going to roll out of this project anytime this year, and it'll probably be in this project again next year. I used this 15 times, this update, for a total of 31 uses, and this is how much I have left. So I can't remember how long it was. This wasn't an extremely long pencil, but I feel like you get your money's worth out of it. It just works so well. And you can see mine is kind of dirty around the tip because I always wear shimmers, and then this is like the last thing I apply on my eyes other than mascara. Next, I have a lip product. This is from Laneige. It is their lip glowy balm in the shade Grapefruit. I actually bought the berry one too, but I recently, or not so recently, I used up a berry lip sleeping mask, and that thing was starting to go off. And so now I do not want to look at the berry flavored lip mask for another 10 years, which is fine because I have so many Laneige lip masks that it will last me 10 years anyway. So this is a slightly tinted version of the lip mask, and obviously it's a balm, so you can wear it, you know, and not have to wipe it off like you're supposed to with the lip mask. This one, I think it's fine if you eat it. Well, I haven't died yet, so yeah. I only used this once, so I'm not really going to show much progress on this. I only bust this out when I really, really need something for my dry lips, because this will like help with my dry lips. I think I used it a lot more in the summer, which is when I am more prone to lip eczema, than in the winter for some strange reason. I guess the next update is going to be the finale anyway, so there's no point in rolling this out because I'm not reaching for this as much anymore. I have some other lip products that I'm trying to use up before the end of the year, mostly because I have a makeup inventory coming up at the end of the year. The next product is also a lip product. This is the Flower Beauty Mix and Matte Lip Duo in the shade Honey Nude. This lipstick on this end, it's a lipstick and a lip gloss in one. This lipstick is like the closest shade to my lips I've found yet, and I'm not a huge fan of the metallic lip gloss at the bottom, which is exactly why I am trying to use this up. So I used this 20 times this month for a total of 36 uses, which is very impressive because I don't remember using it so much. So I think I must have used this a lot in the beginning. There's still quite a bit in here. I think this has more product in it than a standard lip gloss. Yes, there's more product of the lip gloss than the lipstick itself. The lipstick's kind of small, but yeah, there's 0.19 fluid ounces. So this is basically almost 2 standard size lip glosses in this tiny little barrel, I guess. So I've got my work cut out for me. I am trying to pan it completely because, I mean, I find that it doesn't look as bad when I layer on top of something else, but on its own, I don't really like it, and I don't really like it with the lipstick. So I usually will layer this on top of a lip liner and just go about my day that way. The last product in my project pan is the NYX Glitter Primer. I did mention it very briefly earlier. This is like wizardry. This is like when you use this with metallic shades, it really pops. You know, I am someone who prefers more natural makeup, so I wasn't like really reaching for this a lot because it really makes your metallics pop, and that to me isn't as natural. But then my boyfriend told me that my makeup does look faded sometimes, so now I'm reaching for this more often because I want to get more use out of it because I bought it, and also because I am washing my brushes more often. I don't like using this with my fingers because, like I said earlier, I don't like having products on my fingers. I will use like a small concealer brush to just go in and kind of trace an outline before I pack on the metallic shadow. I find that it works best if you pack shadow on top instead of blending it because it's sticky and it will come off. But this is an amazing product. It's very affordable. I think it's $6.50 or $4.50. It's probably $6.50. And I would say if you experience fallout with your eyeshadows, I would recommend this because I hate fallout, and I bought this to kind of like mitigate that problem, and I found that it helped a lot. So yeah, I used this 10 times for a total of 31 uses. There is so much product in here, and the shelf life is unfortunately very short for the amount you get. So I wish they would make smaller versions of these because I don't think even if I used it every day for 6 months, I would be able to go through this. So that was all 10 products. I'm rolling one product out, and as per my rules, I usually roll in 2 products every update, at least 2. And I always try to maintain at least 10 products. So the next video the next update is going to be the finale. Anyway, so I have 9 products in my project pan, which means that I can add 2 and I'll be fine. If I was at 7 products, then I would add 3, if that makes sense, to hit the minimum of 10. So, first product I have is my NYX Professional Slide On, Glide On, Definitely Turn On, blah blah blah, Extreme Color Lip Liner. So this is in the shade Revolution. Is it? I'm just guessing, but I'm pretty sure it's called Revolution. Yes, Revolution. It is this metallic green, and it's a sharpenable pencil. I mentioned this earlier, but right now I don't have a webcam for work, and I'm going to take full advantage of that to wear whatever makeup looks I want, and no one will know unless they watch this video, which I don't think they would. My goal on this is to just try and get as much use out of it as possible before the end of the year. Before the finale, I guess. I'm probably going to continue to wear this throughout until the end of the year and try to get this used up completely by next year, because this has been in my collection for about a year, and the shelf life says 24 months on it, so I'm not too worried about that. It's just the fact that I will not really have the opportunity to wear shades like this as often in the future, so I want to use it now before it goes bad. And that is why I bought a lip liner instead of a lipstick, because I knew that there was no way I was going to finish a lipstick in a color like this. And I wish I had that foresight before obtaining 2 blue lipsticks. And the last product I'm going to be adding in here is also along the same lines of I want to be able to use my colorful makeup before I no longer have a chance to. And this is the Pixi and Tina Yong palette. I did a full review on this palette. I'm surprised at how little reviews there were on this palette, which is why I did a review. Otherwise, I don't think I would have reviewed this palette. My goal is to use one of the colorful shades and hit pan on it. I don't know if I can do it within a month because these shades are very not pigmented. They're kind of dusty. That's why I think that this palette is good for beginners, because it's a little bit harder to mess up, and you've got so many shades in here. You could use it as a face palette as well. But yeah, and by colorful I mean basically the last 2 rows. Just the last row, I think. So anything but the gray. That will be my goal. I can hit pan on anything but the gray in the bottom row, and I think it's suitable for this time of the year, except maybe this shade is not as suitable, but I mean, it would make a nice inner corner highlight if I chose to use this shade right here, which is Seaside. I have mixed feelings on this palette. I think it's alright. I don't absolutely love it, I don't hate it, but I do feel like it would be a waste for me to declutter this because I know not a lot of people like it. Hopefully I can hit pan by the next update. That would be pretty cool because, like I said, it's a very powdery palette and it takes a lot for the color to show up on your lids. So that is my goal for this palette, and hopefully I can hit it by the next update. So that's everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next update for the, no, I'll see you in the finale. Thanks for watching. Bye! I'm so tired right now.